Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening. The Premier is dumping health from his portfolio just days after dismissing rumours of a cabinet reshuffle. Jeremy Rockcliffe says the time is right to hand over the role, but critics say the move smacks of desperation.
A 21st anniversary for the Premier today, July 20 marking his election to Parliament in 2002. Spending it at a business lunch, he teased another big move, following a backdown on council amalgamations and new planning reforms.
This will be about ensuring that we can also continue our focus on our long-term plan.
The Premier revealing the next change of course involves him.
I will hand over the reins of the health portfolio to another capable member of our team.
The announcement a far cry from last week.
The Labor Party spread rumour and innuendo. There is no substance to anything the Labor Party say.
Hinting an injection of new blood is needed via a cabinet reshuffle.
The job is far from done, but now is the right time to hand over health to someone else on my team.
Dubbed a part-time health minister by political opponents, they've given the decision a different assessment.
This is more of the Liberals moving the cabinet chairs around on the Titanic.
This is a Premier who's out of control, out of touch, and he's out of ideas. His only solution to that is to sack himself from the health portfolio.
Also criticised for not announcing the successor.
Right across the set of portfolios, you've got serious issues, and now you've got a Premier who doesn't seem to have a solution on who he's going to put into what portfolio.
Switching from education to health in 2021, he faced criticism about ramping COVID policies and emergency department wait times. The Premier painting a healthier picture to the room.
Because of our record investment and commitment to drive down elective surgery waiting lists, we have reduced them by 30% since 2021.
Also acknowledging the need for a reset, winning the 19th AFL licence, marred by a loss of ground in the polls, and 2 members of the Liberal Party over the Macquarie Point Stadium.
Political debate has become mired in an argument about just one project, the Macquarie Point Stadium, at the expense of everything else.
Whether this hospital hand pass to a teammate works remains to be seen. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
And Tasmanians are getting behind our national team with World Cup watch parties being held around the state tonight. Brianna Boylan is at Rest Point Casino, one of Football Tasmania's screening sites. And Brianna, what time do the doors open there?
Kim, in around an hour, football fans will flood into the showroom here at Rest Point Casino to catch all of tonight's action live on the big screen. Staff have been putting the final touches on the festivities, with plenty of refreshments to help Tasmanians get into the spirit. The match will also be shown live in Devonport's Market Square and Launceston's Country Club. Football fever continued to group the state, with a gala day heading to the north, giving some of Launceston's youngest players the chance to show off their soccer skills. And it's pretty clear who they'll be cheering on tonight. Now, if you can't make it to one of the official screening sites, just sit tight. Live coverage of the Matildas World Cup match will begin here on 7 right after the news, Kim.
And we won't be missing it. Thank you very much there, Brianna Boylan. Well, mental health workers in the northwest have voted to begin industrial action, highlighting what they say is a crisis in the sector. The state's health union warns workers will take matters into their own hands if no solution is found soon.
A desperate cry for help from stretched northwest mental health workers.
There is less than 50% of the established workers available for the child and adolescent mental health service here on the northwest coast. That's a dangerous situation.
Staff from Today taking strike action, asking the state government to address an ongoing resourcing crisis. HACSU claiming an inability to fill critical allied health and nursing roles is leaving young people facing even longer waits.
There are 4 workers available this morning, and there are over 100 clients for those workers to attempt to service.
Workers will share real-time data on how many clients are being seen and daily wait times as part of the action. The union refusing to rule out stop work measures if its demands aren't met.
They don't take industrial action lightly. They're at their wits' end. They want to provide better care to the people that they serve here on the northwest coast.
The Premier says the government will reach out to service workers in order to find a solution, saying it is making significant improvements and investment in the sector.
We had a significant review a number of years ago. We've backed that up with $50 million of extra resources right into mental health reform.
Hoping some of our most vulnerable aren't left behind. Mark Zita, 7 Tasmania News.
Bob Brown claims he was wrongly arrested last year while protesting logging at a swift parrot habitat west of Bicheno. The conservationist fronted a Hobart magistrate today, pleading not guilty to trespassing.
The rate of destruction of wildlife is increasing, and here we have one of the most critically endangered creatures on the planet in the swift parrot on the verge of extinction, and they're cutting down the trees they're nesting in.
It was his second court appearance, with police still to submit the relevant paperwork. He was bailed to reappear on September 7, which coincidentally happens to be Extinct Species Day. The Premier has defended his government after an Upper House MP called for ministerial diary releases to be expanded. Independent MP Meg Webb wants them made public quicker, citing recent policy changes. But Jeremy Rockcliffe says they've been more open about ministers' schedules than any other government.
We're the first government to release ministerial diaries. That was our commitment. That has been done.
Best practice would be monthly, like in Queensland, where that's done. I'd also like to see more detail.
A new batch of diaries is due to be released next month. A 63-year-old man is in a serious but stable condition after a crash on the Bass Highway at Latrobe this morning. Police say a ute rear-ended a truck while it was waiting to turn into Speedway Drive just before 7:30. The ute driver was trapped and had to be extricated from the vehicle, while the truck driver was not injured. The highway was reopened to traffic 2 hours later. And a jack jumper star has returned to Tasmania to share his wisdom and skills with our next generation of ballers. It comes ahead of a pre-season camp, which will see the whole team courtside, including some new faces.
They're little ballers with big dreams.
Could be a carving shoot around or like a head-to-head battle. 1v1's like my favourite type of thing. I just love basketball and I live to keep on playing it.
Dozens of junior jack jumpers fans shooting with the stars as part of a community school holiday program led by fan favourite guard Jack McVeigh.
1, 2, 3, Jackies!
I was doing these same clinics when I was their age, so you never know who's going to fall in love with the game, take in everything we're saying and take their game to the NBL level.
The mini rookies giving him their tick of approval.
I think he earned his nickname right, the Smiling Assassin. He's got like all these tips and tricks. He's a very good shooter. He's my favourite. I've got him to shine my shoe. He sent me a video for my birthday. I've got too many jerseys signed and I've got too many photos.
It comes ahead of a pre-season camp, the first chance for players to meet new imports Anthony Drimmick and Majuk Deng as they prepare for the new season's start date.
Drim's a competitor. He's coming out there playing hard, getting in those little biffs. Like he's going to play jack jumper basketball, and then Majuk Deng can score with the best of them.
As for McVeigh, he's hoping to step into more of a leadership role after 2 years as a starter. Brianna Boylan, 7 Tasmania News.
Memories of yesteryear are back in the spotlight thanks to a nostalgic exhibition looking back at Launceston's past 50 years. It's part of a new time capsule, hoping to capture current city landscape moments.
If the streets of Launceston could talk, the stories would be endless, each spot holding a special place in the town's heart.
Coles Cafeteria was an ideal place to meet a mate.
Probably going to the nightclubs, just to enjoy the nightclubs. They were pretty good back in the day, yeah.
Now citygoers are able to take a trip down memory lane, the old Brisbane arcade winding back the clock, filled with memories to last a lifetime.
Exactly why we wanted to create the exhibition was to re-spark the nostalgia and remind people why they love living here in Launceston.
Reflecting on the past 50 years and what makes Launceston a place treasured by generations.
Thinking back to all those memories of being a child and going there with Nan and Pop and with the family, looking at Fitzy City Caff and the Frog in the Ponds.
$2.90 for all of this? Sensational!
I just love how everyone's so friendly and everyone comes up and talks to you and that.
It's a great place.
Now the focus turns to the future, capturing what makes Launceston the city it is today. The community asked to write about standout moments from this year and put them in a time capsule.
We heard people talking about their favourite memories and we thought we need to capture this. Looking back reminds us what we loved and making sure that we hold on to the history that we enjoy.
Making sure 2023 is one for the history books. Victoria Easto, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's emergency services personnel will be the stars of the match at Hawthorn's next home game at UTAS Stadium. The club dedicating its round 22 clash to the state's first responders, celebrating their tireless work to keep the community safe.
It's quite empowering as well, knowing that we're doing something for a good cause and just trying to get out there and get a win, especially to do it on an occasion like this.
More than 400 emergency services workers will also take to the field for a lap of honour. The Hawks host the Western Bulldogs on August 13. Kingborough believes its slow start against Launceston was a blip on the radar ahead of this week's clash against North Hobart. Coming off a 2-week break, the premiership favourite fought back from 3 goals down at the final change to steal a win.
That's gone now, so we've got a game under our belt, nice week of training. And North Hobart presents some really serious challenges. They move the ball really quick.
The Demons coach is challenging his rising stars to make the most of their opportunities as injuries force change.
One goes down, we need players to stand up, and it gives the opportunity to some younger players to come in and have a real crack this week.
The first bounce is Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. A milestone reunion will also take place over the sidelines of Bridport this weekend. The premiership winning sides of 1973, 1993 and 2013 will spend the day reminiscing on the Seagulls' glory years in the North East Football Union.
I thought we were the best team that year, so there's a bit of pressure to win, and it was probably more relief after that.
A couple of beers with ex-players and that sort of stuff. Hopefully see today's team, the current side, get 4 points. We're back on the track.
Sounds like a good day. The Seagulls will be hoping to pull off the same winning luck when they host the East Coast Swans on Saturday. 7 Tasmania can exclusively reveal the powder keg rivalry between Scottsdale and North Launceston in the 70s will be given special recognition in the Tasmanian Football Hall of Fame. During that decade, the bitter foes played in 4 bruising grand finals, which ended with more than just broken hearts for the vanquished.
It's only in the opening seconds and everybody's in the brawl there.
Boasting a ferocity seldom seen even in the white-knuckle days of Australian rules football, Scottsdale and North Launceston's rivalry was relentless.
When they bounce the ball, grab your player in a headlock and just hold them. I said, none of us, they can't penalise all of us.
Simple but effective. For Scottsdale...
What a furious mark by Chris Woods. He flew, there's a fight on there now. Oh, that is unneeded.
Right and wrong was in black and white. Win at whatever cost.
They're just like us, and you have a good talk to them, and they're good blokes. But before that, yeah, she's on the ground, she's on, and we hated to lose. And so did they.
And the 1979 decider signified just that. After some rather quaint pre-match entertainment, the instruments of war sharply changed note.
What did Dickie say to you when you broke his jaw?
Well, he couldn't talk.
Tomorrow night, all of Tasmanian football will be talking about them when the famous foes are inducted into the Hall of Fame.
All the supporters are loyal and they don't see anything other than red and black. Always right, everyone else is wrong. And Scottsdale supporters are very similar.
A respect forged when football meant everything in these 2 parts of the state.
Today, Hobart 14 degrees, Launceston, Devonport and Burnie all 13. Flinders Island, Grove and Friendly Beaches, the state's top with 15. 13, the common temperature for Wynyard, Low Head, St Helens, Maria Island, Bushy Park and Strawn. -4 overnight in Lyowini with just a top of 3 degrees today. Cloudy conditions for most of Tasmania today with a frontal band moving over the state during the afternoon. A frontal cloud band covers Victoria and Tasmania. Another band can be seen building well to the south of WA. Tomorrow a high moves over southern WA and extends a ridge over the state, while a cold front passes south of WA and a trough lies over inland Queensland. West to southwesterly winds 20 to 25 knots, reaching up to 30 knots offshore about the northeast. Winds tending west to northwesterly 15 to 25 knots in the afternoon. West to southwesterly swells 3 to 4 metres in the west and south, tending south to southwesterly with 3 metre swells offshore in the south. A strong wind warning has been issued for east of Flinders Island. Tomorrow, partly cloudy conditions for Hobart, Huonville and Campania, all expecting a top of 13. Mostly sunny skies in Launceston and Georgetown, partly cloudy and 13 for Devonport. To the west, partly cloudy in Burnie and Wynyard, showers easing in Strawn, 13's the top there. St Helens and Port Arthur sharing a top of 13, sunny in Swansea. Looking now to the 3-day forecast, Saturday showers about the west extending to the north during the afternoon, otherwise mainly fine. Sunday showers about the west and far south, easing in the afternoon and evening, mainly fine elsewhere apart from a possible afternoon shower in the northeast. Monday fine apart from showers about the west extending to the far south in the afternoon and evening. Taking a look at the mainland tomorrow, partly cloudy conditions in Sydney, Canberra and Melbourne. Tomorrow Darwin, the nation's top with 32 degrees. And currently in Hobart, it's mostly cloudy with 10 degrees. A rainy night for both Launceston and Devonport with 10. Now, if you thought it was cold in Hobart this morning, you're quite right. Coonamble, Mount Wellington saw freezing temperatures, including an air temperature similar to Antarctica.